we don't want to call out our friends because we love our friends. Mina Kimes and Benjamin Solak, both of ESPN, friends of the show. We love having them as guests. And both of them have a lot of love for the Seahawks, including this past season. Mina all the time, obviously, but Benjamin Solak really high on Seattle all year long. Lots of good stuff to say about Ken Walker, etc. However, Seahawks fans a little upset with the ranking that both of these had out. So they had, for Mina Kimes' latest episode of the Mina Kimes Show featuring Lenny, her podcast, a draft of NFL quarterbacks. It was not just for this season. They were like, okay, for the next few years, you're drafting a quarterback to be your franchise guy over, let's say, 3 seasons. They had a few surprising results. Now, number 1, they take Patrick Mahomes. No one's shocked. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Lamar Jackson. Number 4, Joe Burrow. No one's surprised by this. Well, maybe some people would have Allen first or Allen third or Lamar second, but no one's shocked by that. However, poor Sam Darnold. Still getting some disrespect because they took Sam Darnold 19th among quarterbacks over the next 3 years. Here's Mina.
If you have a receiver like Jackson Smith-Njigba, was the best receiver in football last year, Darnold is a quarterback, and of course you saw this with Jefferson as well in Minnesota, who is capable of aggressively delivering him the ball downfield. He is, he can sling it. He can throw it over the middle of the field. He's a great play action quarterback. So it's funny because we talked about Hurts and his constraints, and Darnold's kind of different in that I don't think he has constraints as a passer. His problem is how he sometimes responds to pressure and sometimes can make bad situations worse. And again, you saw that in the second half of the season. But I do think the ceiling is high enough for me to feel like we obviously saw the ceiling is high enough to win a Super Bowl.
All right, so that's Mina. Here's what Benjamin Solak said about why Darnold was 19th.
Sam Darnold, 28th last year, or 28th last 2 years among quarterbacks in terms of EPA per pressure dropback. And I think that when we're talking about Sam coming off of the Week 11 Rams game, it was like, man, we all know what the issue is with Sam Darnold. Like this Rams defense, these pressure teams, right? Exactly. He can't do it. And then he has a great end of the regular season. He had a shaky end of the regular season, but he has a great postseason run. It's like, all right, like now you'll just never hear this mentioned. But it's the same thing like Jalen Hurts' 2024 run and the Sam Darnold's 2025 run. Demons don't get exorcised. They get banished and then they return. And so like the idea that Sam now is this is to me like wrong. Sam is what he's always been in his totality, in his goodness and in his badness. Now, Sam, when he got drafted 3rd overall, like the arm on Sam's the best arm we drafted in the last like 6-7 picks. And so on it, it's nice to get Sam here this low because of the throws that he can make down the field. But it's important to remember that like the warts on the guy are still the warts on the guy, even when he wears the ring on his finger.
Some of the quarterbacks taken directly ahead of Sam Darnold: Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts, Fernando Mendoza, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, Matthew Stafford, Jaden Daniels. Again, this is over the next 3 years. Bump, is the ranking fair?
Somewhat, I think. They make some points. I still think Sam can get better. I don't think he's a finished product. I think they're speaking about Sam as if he's done, this is who he is. I think that he has some things he needs to get over, which is turn the football over at high clips. He had 3 multi-turnover games with Seattle last year. He had 2 multi-turnover games with Minnesota the year before. I agree with that 100%. But I think that Sam is a different case, is a special case in my opinion, because of just his journey, the organizations that he was with, the coaching he was around, and the way he was not set up for success like a lot of these other quarterbacks have been set up for success. I think the guys who are chosen over Sam Darnold, some of them are just off of ability. Yeah, the reason, the fact that Mendoza's picked over Sam Darnold, I'm like, he ain't done nothing. Like, you haven't seen Mendoza on this level. Could he be better? Maybe. We'll see. But we haven't seen that. CJ Stroud is coming off a bad year. Why are we picking? CJ Stroud has had 1 good year. His whole career, his rookie season, he's had 1 good year. So why are we picking him over Sam? And Sam's already put together back-to-back good seasons. Kyler Murray is, you just look at his physical ability and you think to yourself, okay, well, he's physically more talented than Sam, so we're going to ride with him. Granted, Kyler Murray has had a couple years where he's had some weapons over there as well. The team as a whole has not been great, but he's had some weapons. Everyone else, okay, I can understand. Like a Caleb Williams, I think he's going to be great. Justin Herbert is kind of shaky, super ability, but hasn't really done anything. He doesn't show big. Drake May is one that has me scratching my head as well. I think maybe over the next few years he could be better and get better, but he hasn't shown me that he's far and beyond.
And they had him at
bigger
4.
than just better than Sam Darnold. So listen, I know who Sam is. He's a guy at times will turn that football over. And if I'm playing against Sam Darnold, I'm going to pressure him and make him make the throws. What we saw to end this season was he went through a postseason run where he didn't turn the football over one time.
Not once.
He played exactly the game that his team needed from him to have or to hoist the Vince Lombardi trophy. So there is still some disrespect on Sam because you're looking at his worst moments and saying that's him. What about his best moments? In the last 2 years, he's had better moments the last 2 seasons. He's had the previous 6 seasons. So, look, there's going to be an argument for that. I ain't mad at him. You go ahead and do your thing, but there are about 4 or 5 other quarterbacks where I'm like, I don't understand why these guys are ahead of him, and I think Sam is still a work in progress and can still get better.
Kyler Murray is the one that confuses me the most. Curtis and I were both talking about this with you in pre-show, but I want to jump back to it. I can understand, in theory, a Fernando Mendoza argument, even though it is ridiculous. He hasn't played. They're talking about the next 3 years, so you're taking in very real considerations, like how much you're paying someone, right? Like, they're talking about that as though, like, this is your guy, this is, Fernando's going to be on a rookie deal. You have a chance to build, et cetera, et cetera. So I can see the arguments there. Jordan Love, like there are guys where I'm like, I totally get it. I don't quite understand Kyler Murray over Sam.
No.
I don't quite get that. That's the one that I'm more stuck on, even more than Fernando Mendoza, even more than like a Trevor Lawrence or CJ Stroud. A great point about CJ by you that he's had like one stellar year, but like overall youth, ability, number 1 and 2 overall picks. I totally get it. But Kyler? Like, what is Kyler done? Kyler had a special set of skills when he entered the league, much like Liam Neeson, but hasn't really met them. And Curtis made a great point earlier, which is there's some stuff that's hard to measure by analytics that Kyler Murray very clearly lacks.
I mean, he's been a starter in the league for, 7 years now, played one playoff game and went horribly. Like, yeah, he's got a lot of tools, but when has he ever elevated the guys around him? Like, that Cardinals team has consistently underperformed. They have been one of the worst run organizations for years and years and years. And usually, guys who are the elevators around the league, they can kind of overcome the, ineptitude of their organization. I think of, Joe Burrow. Like, the Bengals are a horribly run franchise, but he's so good that he is better than anything kind of conspiring against him, whereas Kyler Murray has never been that quarterback.
Bump, why do you think and it's only one spot ahead, but why do you think that the league might be a little more optimistic about Kyler, both roughly the same age?
Better athlete. Overall, just a better athlete. Can throw the ball. Now, Sam has a cannon. Let's not get it twisted. Sam can throw the rock, but it's the mobility. It's the big play, right? If you look at a play that's breaking down, Kyler Murray probably gives you a better chance in that play becoming successful because he's able to scramble and run and do all that good stuff. Sam, obviously, I think Sam's scrambling ability is underrated as well, but it's nothing like Kyler Murray. I think it just comes down to being a better athlete. That's what it comes down to. But, with Sam, he's never going to be considered a top 5 quarterback. He doesn't need to be a top 5 quarterback. He needs to be the right quarterback for the right system, which every quarterback needs to be. Right? I mean, you could put Joe Burrow in a garbage system. He's going to elevate it, but he's going to be limited, right? Every coordinator's job is to design or manipulate your offense to fit your quarterback and who they are. So yeah, it's disrespect for Sam a bit. I don't think he's a top 5. He might be a top 10 type of guy, but there are some names in front of him where I was like, all right. And the way they say their ends on this argument is, we're talking about the next few years. Like, all right, you talk about the next few years, then yeah, okay, we'll see what Mendoza looks like. We'll see what Kyler looks like. So that's why when I knew we were doing this, I thought to myself, like, if they're going to make this list, make the list. Like, let's make the list of guys right now. Projecting for the future, that allows anyone to get into this conversation and throw any name in there. It's not weak, but it gives them some wiggle room for sure.